Hi, welcome to another video. Today we once again gonna look at the best decks for Glider. So let's get at it. Before we start, I want to say that another new single deck made it to this video. So stay tuned. We're gonna be talking about the issues of the new decks later in the video. But yeah, let's look at the first deck. First, we have Jackson, the classic Jackson that we kinda knew. The classic, kinda something that we not that used to, being all that good. But Jackson is just stayed and it was so good for some metas now. And it's staying, it didn't get hit. It even kind of got buff in the last patch notes, right? With the Sorian getting from 5-5 to 5-4 overwhelm. That I think is definitely helpful with this deck because now you can just give it any weapon and it's very tactful overwhelm that can very easily just level your own. But yeah, otherwise the standard package, pretty nice, is pretty good in this meta. So something that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. I'm playing currently 2 of them. And yeah, otherwise the standard replaced. Look for like things like apprentice jacks. That's such a powerful stat that you can start the game with. They just curve it to weapon, level your jacks. Try to sneak in maybe level on. You can maybe help with yourself with 3 sisters, with catch. Try to level on and on turn 7 just get on. Oh, best like with like some skill weapon and just kill your opponent. This deck is just doing such a powerful things. It's having also very premium removal thanks to the enhancing lure and fish fight that Jax got like some months ago with his buff, and it helped him so much. So a deck that definitely keep track of, not only for like a ladder, but also for a tournament. Let's look at the second deck. Second deck, and it's Swain Illaoi, a deck very powerful. They really have even longer than Jackson in the meta, and the deck that just do sometimes very stupid things, and sometimes it kind of doesn't do that thingy, but yeah, this deck is so much about one card and it's what for idol. Watch for idol, not only that is giving you tentacle, but also it's by alone, it's giving you 6 level up to Swain. And that's so good. Yeah, Mulim can mostly even fully for this card because how much important this card is. And if you have this card into things like Sea Voice, into Illaoi, into leveled Swain, this deck is just sometimes unstoppable. In some matchups, you can go also, of course, for the Leviathan Swain, Stunlock plan that we kind of know from, for 3 years now, since Swain got released in Rising Tides. So yeah, otherwise, having very premium removal and things like Tentacle Smash, of course, you have very often big Tentacle, so Tentacle Smash giving you very premium removal. Things like, Scorch Earth, amazing, it like some Monument decks as well. You can destroy some Monument. Do it usually in combat, that you don't do it before combat because otherwise they can just play it again. But do it that you swing and put on the Scorcher on the stack so you can instantly destroy it and instantly deal the damage so opponent cannot answer it. That's amazing thing to do. Because I said if you're gonna play it like as a slow speed spell, you're gonna take priority out of you, they can just replay it. Of course if they have the mana. But yeah, otherwise very powerful deck, doing very, very powerful things. I guess we kinda know it, but it's even stronger now when the meta got a little bit better for it as well. So yeah, not only for ladder, once again, also very good for tournament. But yeah, let's move on to the last deck. While we're talking about Summonement, of course, one of the decks, I do think the deck that uses it currently the best is some Monument Teemo Elusives. It's the classic deck that we kind of know from like the Resort. The Resort was making these elusive decks very popular. We have it back. I think it was brought like by MTAC, so Cephalopod. It was from the BPS on Aegis. And by then, just it's doing the thing, it's doing the elusive thing, it's doing the thing that not many decks can answer, especially things like Jackson. Really are not happy to play against this deck, as well like a lot of other decks as well. Deck is very amazing. Just go elusive, go elusive. And because even though you don't have to kill your opponent that fast, because you have the summonement to save you when you have low HP. That's also amazing that you don't have to even like sacrifice. You don't have to block. That's what I think making this deck just so powerful. Is that you don't have to block. You just play Summoner, and Summoner is gonna buy you like so many turns that you just don't have to block with the elusives. You don't have to put them in danger, and you're just gonna eventually kill your opponent. Sure, opponent's gonna shuffle like 200 mushrooms in your deck, but if you have 30 cards in the deck, that's like 7 damage. So it's not killing you, and that's exactly what this deck do. It very often just wins on low HP, but you win the game, but you had the summoner that just saved you. Deck is amazing, one of the best decks in the game currently, I would say. So definitely keep that eye on this. I also just like this deck is so good that it's also just auto wins so many matchups. But yeah, let's now talk about the meta and what I do think about the new decks. Well, new decks have some issue. I think there's some potential definitely in some decks, but I'm not I'm not sure enough. I need to be more testing on ladder. I need to be more testing in tournaments to see if I can be selling them. I see some potential in some decks, but a lot of the things that I just see are just not feeling that powerful enough. For example, things like Nico Ferret. This deck is having like kind of clear issue of hits that like it is so good finisher. Let's be honest, Vanguard of Traps is one of the best finisher that we have currently in the game. The card is so good. But the issue, like, you're playing so many bad cards, so like your Nico works. Also, your interaction like doesn't exist. Like, what spells you play? Like you play, this deck only plays like for example 3 spells, right? Like the spells that you can be playing are just not good enough, and you don't have any much interaction. And you're just like playing units. And if your opponent is doing maybe something more powerful than you just don't do enough. Another issue is like with the Jack decks, especially things like Jack said. There's like a lot of Jack decks going around. I honestly see that Jack is very good champion. I think Jack is a very good champion. Issue of his, he needs to be finding Rincon. I think the Rincon of Jack is usually the bow decks. I think things like Tristana Jack and maybe the Nora Jack that I saw have the biggest potential as a Jack decks. But things like this Jack set, I was playing it quite a lot today on stream, and like it just felt like sure I had like 10, 11 coins, but then I look at my hand, I had nothing to spend these coins. Yeah, sure. I had maybe sometimes like Jack leveled on 4, and sometimes I create the trade from set on turn 7, and I was like, yeah, I win, but that happened very rarely. Otherwise, it was just like, I have a lot of coins and stuff, but I have nothing to use them on. And that's exactly why I think that like both comes in a place where like Jack plus both is actually like for finisher, and like both loves the coin so much. So if that's a something, I think it's like maybe the Tristana, it is the Nura. But as I said, I'm not gonna be selling you. I want to put the best decks that I actually believe in these videos, but I'm not ready for them. I don't think they're optimized yet, and I'm not gonna be selling them to you yet. I said I might be playing them on tournament, I might be playing them on ladder, but I don't think they are good enough yet. And that's just the issue. Otherwise, we're getting back to the old meta. Honestly, I don't mind it that much. Of course, like for me as a content creator, I think for like margin, it's kind of depressing to see like that we playing on like the old stuff. So like it's not something that much exciting. It's not something new, and that's something that I kind of hope that in the future Riot will actually release like the maybe honestly release the champions stronger than they should be, so they create a lot of more decks. I think for example like Summer was amazing showcase that like even though Summer was busted on release, she was fun to play. We had like Samara Pantheon, we had Samara Fizz, we had Samara Rose that we even many people didn't found out. And it figured that Samara Rose was the best Samara deck, So like that's definitely the thing that I think should be happening. Otherwise, I think the meta is definitely healthy and it's gonna be very fun to play tournaments on this page. But of course, there's nothing new, and that's maybe the issue so far. Of course, we might find something. I'm not giving up yet. It's like second day of the patch, so we are not sure yet. But that's something that it just feels to me for now. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Did I miss maybe some new deck? Leave your opinion in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, it's fun. Hopefully, you're gonna maybe try some of these days. Of course, that's it. I really hope that we're gonna find something new. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing, games, and see you in the next video. Okay, bye.